Greetings. My name is Waleed Muhammad, and I'm the director of the Creative Economics and Business Education Society. We have a special guest, Dr. Kalima Abdul Qudus, and she is the program director and founder of the SAFE Campaign. Welcome, Dr. Kalima Abdul Qudus.
Welcome. Thank you for having me today, brother.
Great. So you have many lofty initiatives, and among them are the SAFE Campaign. So just tell us, how did you get this idea or concept?
All of my ideas, concepts are divinely inspired, and I wait on Almighty's guidance to tell me which direction to go with all of my initiatives. That one came as a result of one that I had been operating since 1999, a for-profit company, a entertainment, small business and entertainment consultation company called Lady in the Shoe Productions. And it already was set up to help people to establish their businesses in entertainment without looking for the majors to sign deals with them and invest in them. And they would actually go underground and establish their own initiatives in business. And then I went further and in my heart wanted to do more for the people. And then Almighty eventually gave me the concept and idea for the SAFE campaign, which I wrote the program and I tucked it away because I wasn't really sure what to do with it when I wrote it. Ironically, it would come into play later on that I would actually get to use it.
Okay, excellent.
Mhm.
So tell us more about the mission or the goals of the SAFE campaign. Can you elaborate a little bit more on what exactly it is
Mhm.
and what it stands for? Who and what are the goals?
Okay. SAFE campaign, the initiative is basically for predominantly, not for only exclusively, but predominantly for people of color and descendants of African slaves in America. However, we do provide the supports and services to anyone that would like to participate in it. The acronym for SAFE is Stability and Advancement for Entrepreneurs. And the mission is to basically help our people to be able to discover who they are and to allow those things to work for themselves here, to gain the respect that they deserve for who they are, the validation of being rightfully giving a space in this life to live and to operate safely in just as any other people would. So the SAFE campaign's acronym was to make them feel safe, that they had a strong NGO network support behind them to help them along the way, guide them to kind of get away from the negative stereotypes that have been put in our heads for hundreds of years, leading to the disenfranchisement that is today.
Right. So your organization is established as an NGO. Could you
Mhm.
elaborate more about that and how that status is a particular use to your organization?
Actually, when you do register your programs with the United Nations, you have to go through several phases to be accepted in it. So it's a lot larger than just quoting the acronyms. I really want people to know that there was a lot of work that went into getting it to where it is, and it's still a progress. Every year, toward the end of the year, you have compliances in order to maintain that positioning. Um, but initially, as I mentioned, that my sheikh, he brought me in as an intern, and that's basically how you start. He needed supports. He liked what I was doing with Lady in the Shoe Productions for humanitarian. It basically is a diplomatic, democratic type of business, even though it was for profit. He was really intrigued about what we were doing. So, as an intern, I kind of got in and I says, let me show myself off so that I can stay here. I wanted to stay. And that's how you have to be with the UN. You have to be committed, passionate about what you do. And the more I learned about his program, his NGO, that is what brought Safe Campaign out of the arsenal because it would marry well with what he needed. He was missing what Safe Campaign was. And so I offered the program curricula, some of it in part MOU, for him to use with his program. He loved it. He often said the speed that I had, the acumen was really intriguing and impressive to him. Commitment that I had to helping his program succeed. So he basically co-signed everything that I wanted to do, including the SAFE campaign. So therefore, I submitted an application for the SAFE campaign separate of his NGO to become its own NGO, not knowing that you cannot be an NGO right away. You have to go another step from intern to CSO, which is a civil society organization, like what you see with the UNWomen.org, which is a NGO that is helping women businesses and the fairness treatment for women. Ban Ki-moon is doing it under the EcoSoc. So every year he has an event helping ecumenical women programs, and UN Women is one that most people recognize most often. And I'm a member representative of the UNWomen.org as well. But what happened is I registered Safe Campaign under CSO status under UNWomen.org. You got to go probably 3, 4, 5 years before they see what you're doing, what you're putting into the communities that you say you provide services and supports to. And then you request to submit to become an NGO. That can take a number of other years depending on what it is that where you are. It depends on you. And if you're offering something that they feel would be sustainable or part of the Millennium Development Goals, that it would help humanity, then you would get their attention. They'll pay attention to what it is you presented. And if you did not present something, or it's just like everybody else's, there's really no uniqueness with it. They need something different that's really going to make a change. So it's a huge deal that we've gotten this far with the SAFE campaign, because most people don't make it that far. But SAFE Campaign is so unique. We're the only Black descendant of slave owned NGO in the UN.
That's
And
very good. That's a good
very,
accomplishment.
yes.
Congratulations for that, and I'm glad to be able to discuss this topic with you. This is good. So let me ask you this: in terms of that status, and in
Mhm.
terms of what you're looking for, how can someone participate and or help your organization?
Well, we do hire. At the moment, we're not hiring just yet, but in the next few months, we will be, because things are changing drastically. So we're definitely going to need some help. Right now, I had to comply with the end of the year requirements with the UN, and that requires lots of money, lots of paperwork. It began at the top level, not where you hire people to help. This was totally with me having to remain in the position and to keep the SAFE campaign effective and available. So after the new year kicks in, it is our intention to explore people's submission of applications, because I've had several of those come through my email. People are looking to work with the SAFE campaign, and surprisingly, it's more people from other races than more so than of my own race, which is amazing. I thought it would be the other way around, but it's actually not. And so we will explore those applications and resumes and take a look at how we can use those supports. We don't teach this program by teaching staff. We don't need teaching staff. We have lecturers that will administer a lecture and then give the exams, but there are no teachers. So we don't hire teachers. We actually we support people and guide them in other ways that's very unique that nobody else is doing, and this is why the UN really found it to be phenomenal. So when it comes to people participating, we actually are always open to receive new applicants. We want to see them because we want to see the vast array of different uniquenesses in individuals and what they have to offer to humanity. And the angles they come from, as I mentioned before, they could be, former felons. But, what you may call a felon, we may not call a felon. You can get a felony for something insane based on the one individual that thought that that's what you deserve to have. But upon further investigation, which we're able to do, we can learn something totally different about who you are and make our decisions based on that.
Okay. As a entrepreneur and grassroots activist, what are some of the challenges that you had to overcome to make progress in your initiatives?
So many, too many to name here along the way since it's been over 18 years in business. But I would say some of the biggest would be my health. And then the second in line, and I'm not sure if it's really second, it would probably be equivalent, would be just getting past myself and learning to separate people being who they are and that you can't satisfy them all. And then also providing the service in excellence where if people don't see the effort, then that's not my responsibility. As long as I know that I've done the best that I could, that was what was important. For a while, I struggled with that, although for some it seems to be a small thing. But for me, I have a passionate heart of wanting to see everybody happy in the world. So if I don't see that, and I don't feel I've done my part, but I've learned now how that is not my responsibility. If I do the model bang on every time and 90% of the people get it, then I've done my job. The other 10%, it may be a number of reasons why they just haven't caught on. And we have to learn to understand the difference in business, separating the wheat from the chaff, business and professionalism from personal matters.
Excellent. Based upon your experience, what would be the one piece of advice that you would give to someone starting out a business or an organization like this?
I always say do the research. That is primarily the best thing. And research, why that meaning that, there are models and softwares for doing business research. But when I'm talking about a research, if you are passionate about braiding hair, for instance, then know that if you braid too tight, people are going to get braid bumps, which inevitably lead to hair breakage. You don't just go braid hair and don't wash your hands and don't understand to braid loosely, oil the scalp. You do the research on the thing that you say you want to do, learn something about it, and then really put pen to paper, prepare an excellent proposal, do the groundwork, go to the Foundation Library in New York City and look in their grant books and their pamphlets and get on their mailing list and their email lists and things like that. Get the materials, attend the workshops, take notes, learn as much as you can about your craft so that you can deliver your services in excellence.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Dr. Kalima Abdul Qudus. It's been a wonderful time talking to you. Thank you for sharing that insight and advice. And thank you for being such a mover and shaker in the community. We need more people like this to be entrepreneurial and also share their experiences, because you notice that there might be people who are successful or moving forward, but they don't take the time to share. And I thank you for coming on to talk with the Creative Economics and Business Education Society about your lofty goals. Thank you and much success to you.
And you as well. Thank you for having me today. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.